We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball as Paul Canerico, Adam Dunn, Gordon Beckham and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Billy Butler and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. We're Steve Stone. I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the first of this final series of the season, and it is against these tough Kansas City Royals. But the AL wild card race continues, and yesterday two teams met their fate.
Well, unfortunately for the Royals, they played last night and they got eliminated. But this is what it looks like. These are the teams that have a chance or are in. Tampa Bay looks like they're in pretty good shape, leading by a game. Cleveland is the second wild card as we start tonight, and Texas, one game in back of Cleveland. So you see what they have left. They have a tough schedule left because Cleveland's on the road. Texas at least is at home against the Angels, and I figure Tampa Bay is going to get there. So it's going to be an interesting race, and with the Yankees and the Royals eliminated, we're going to see day by day it get a little smaller.
Well, with everything that's gone on the last couple of starts that he did not make with Andre Rienzo, this is a big outing for him tonight. It's
a very big outing because he's really competing for a job for next year. And Rienzo saw Kansas City back in the middle of August, and he threw the ball real well. He went 6 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs, won his first major league game, had a very good curveball that day, and hopefully more of the same here today. But he's coming back from a blister, and hopefully he'll be fine because he's facing Jeremy Guthrie.
And tonight, Rienzo faces off with Guthrie. And Guthrie is a guy who Sox hitters have knocked around in his last 2 starts against us. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field on just a gorgeous night for baseball. 65 degrees and a little wind, not too much. And this starts the finale, the last 4 games of the season. Let's take a look at the best records since June 5th, and that's in the major leagues. The Dodgers have the best, the Tigers right there with the Red Sox, the Athletics, then these Royals and the Indians. And so the Royals eliminated last night, the Indians very much in it with a game lead. So this game played for pride. And let's see how Ned Yost is going to line up his Royals tonight. Alex Gordon leading it off. Pedro Siriaco in the 2 spot with Eric Hosmer, Billy Butler, Mike Moustakas, Justin Maxwell, David Lowe, George Kataris, and our old friend Chris Getz at second base and hitting 9th. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Rienzo. Viciedo, Diaza, and Garcia in the outfield with Gillespie, Simeon, Beckham, and Canerco in the infield. Ryan Anderson gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Andre Rienzo. This is his 10th start. He's 2-2. ERA just a touch over 5. He's beaten these Royals 1 time, was his first major league win, and he's allowed 10 home runs this year. The umpires for the game this evening. Gary Darling, the crew chief, is behind the plate. Jerry Meals at first base. Paul Emmel is at second, and Chris Conroy is at third. So Robin hoping to finish it on a high note after a couple of disastrous games in Cleveland. Fortunately, we don't see the Indians any longer. 2-17 this year. So the Tribe pretty much owes us their lead in the wild card. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. I don't know why you had to bring that up.
Well, I look at our road record. I don't want to talk about that.
All right, first pitch of the ball game is taken by Alex Gordon, the left fielder, the fine left fielder of the Royals. The Royals come in hitting at .260 as a club with a 3.46 ERA. Royals 8 games over at 83-75, and this year we have played them 15 times, and we have won 8 of those 15.
The thing you worry about when a pitcher misses a couple of starts, as Rienzo has, you worry about his control.
Fouls that back.
That's a lot of runs batted in for primarily a leadoff hitter. Now, they experimented with Gordon in the 3 spot for a while. He hit 2 a bit, but not much, mostly as a leadoff hitter.
There's a chopper foul. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
The Royals got in about 5:30 in the morning after that night game in Seattle. Probably won't affect them tonight. Probably will affect them tomorrow night.
Well, that's usually the formula.
Yeah, you can run on adrenaline, get 3-4 hours of sleep, nice lunch, come to the ballpark, but the next day you're dragging. And it didn't help that they were eliminated last night because they thought they were going to run it out a little bit longer. It didn't happen that way.
Once again, the 2-2. Curveball high. Yeah, well, over the years, you know, there's a technique, method, approach, whatever you want to call it, routine. Here you go. 1 out. That players have to find out themselves on how their body is going to react.
It's not an easy thing to do, especially for some of the guys who are a bit older now. This is a very young Kansas City team by and large. They've got a couple of older guys, but not too many.
Yeah, but the older guys, maybe their routine wouldn't work for the younger guys.
Could very well be.
Yeah.
I don't think they've experienced anything like that, however, and somewhat surprising that Seattle would schedule a night game when it was originally scheduled as a day game.
Well, that's terrible. That's terrible. That really is.
Talked to Denny Matthews, their fine broadcaster and Ford Frick Award recipient. He said he has a schedule. It says day game.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to do. There must be some history there of some sort. I know when I retired from baseball, I was going back and forth over to Europe to play in some golf tournaments. Trevino told me, he says, when you get over there, he says, do not go to bed and try to catch up that sleep. He said, forget about that sleep. Let it go. He said, just when you get up over there, if you arrive at 8 o'clock in the morning, which most of the time that's the way the flights do, he said, you stay up all day and then go to your bed that night to where you regularly go to bed. And he was right. That worked for me. Softly hit. Simeon, 2 down.
Well, I think Kansas City would be a little more excited about this as far as their feelings toward the Mariners if they were still in the race. Because if these games were critical for them, this would be tough to overcome.
This is one of those things you file.
Yeah.
You file it, you don't forget about it.
They're going to come to you every year.
That's it. So here's Hosmer. 303, 17 homers, 79 knocked in. Takes down low.
Pretty good month of September for Eric Hosmer, who's really turned it on, and it almost was simultaneous when George Brett became their hitting coach.
High. Gillespie stays with it, makes the catch. Nice, quick 1-2-3 inning. After a half inning in play, it's Royals nothing, and our guys coming to bat.
It's going to be Diaz, Simeon, and Gillespie at the top, with Konerko, Dunn, and Garcia in the middle, followed by Viciedo, Beckham, and Anderson rounding it out. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Jeremy Guthrie. Gordon, Maxwell, and Lowe in the outfield, with Moustakas, Siriaco, Getz, and Hosmer in the infield. George Kataris gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Jeremy Guthrie. On for his 33rd start of the year. Pretty decent year, 14-12. ZRA just over 4. He has given up a lot of hits per innings pitched. That's because he's around the plate a lot.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As here's Alejandro hitting at 263, 17 homers, 62 knocked in. .34-year-old veteran right-handers had a good season for him with that 14-12 mark, giving him over 200 innings. It certainly has not been their pitching. It has kept them out of postseason play.
No, the pitching by and large has been very, very strong. They added 3 starters to their rotation, a rotation that was just battered last year. And they've all thrown pretty well.
That is just foul. And of course, that bullpen they got, second in the major leagues in ERA. They can run some arms out there, out of that pen.
Especially now that they shuttled Luke Hochevar out there. Luke was a former #1 who was having some problems third time through the lineup and didn't have much of a year last year, but they put him in the bullpen this year. His ERA is 1.98 in 56 appearances. Hasn't started a game, hasn't had to. And he's one of their power arms, but they got a boatload of them in the pen.
Stay fair. It won't.
Big game James. James Shields, acquired from Tampa Bay, along with Wade Davis. Shields this year, 12-9. He's pitched 221 2/3 innings. Santana's gone 211 innings. I told you Guthrie is up over 200, so 3 of their guys in the rotation have been workhorses.
Oops. 1 down.
Taras makes a good play. This is a biting breaking ball, down and in. Taras blocks it, able to corral it and make the play to first.
So here's Simeon. When you see one of those, you might as well get after it, Marcus. Especially on first pitch. And that is high in the right field. David Lowe. Quickly 2 out. And that'll bring up Gillespie. Angels have taken a 1-0 lead over Texas in the first inning and threatening for more. There's ball 1. Off the end of the bat, chopper 2 hopper, Stackis. That didn't take long. That first inning didn't take long, and no score.
finger. Now, this is how he holds the fastball. And you see this finger is on a seam. That's the ring finger, and that's the reason why pulling down on that with his fastball and the friction that's caused off the seam is why he got the blister in the first place and why he missed a couple of starts.
And here's Billy Butler to lead off. Well, we have seen more first things I've never seen than I've ever seen in my life before.
No, I've never seen this before. Never. We're going to show you a still shot of just exactly why it was rubbing on his ring finger. And this is the fastball. You can see the ring finger right there, and it is on a seam. And apparently as he pulls down on it, it caused the irritation and then subsequently the blister.
Butler. Billy hitting at 287, 14 homers, 78 knocked in. And considering the lack of protection that he's had this year, that's not all bad. Teams have just pitched around him. And I was talking with George Brett when George was the acting hitting coach. Got time. One out. And George told me, he says, Hawk, he said, nobody's giving him anything to hit.
There's no reason to give him anything to hit.
Not at all. You can see why that move for Prince Fielder just absolutely lit Miguel Cabrera up.
And why one more hitter in this lineup is essential.
Well, with the way it stacks up in this division, unless they get themselves a bumper that either Billy can protect or can protect Billy, then they're going to be in trouble again next year with all that good pitching. I like Dayton Moore. I like it. I think he's done a good job. But one thing about it, they're going to have to make a move for one other big bopper.
Well, they traded one, and it got him James Shield and Wade Davis, and that was Will Myers, who's certainly in the discussion for Rookie of the Year. So having him gone now has left a void for them.
Well, Will would have been the guy probably to either let Billy protect him or vice versa, down the road a little bit. But Will's not going to protect. People are going to make him beat him before they let Billy Butler beat him. And here is a young man with a whole bunch of talent and just cannot get over the hump. But he's still a baby yet at 24. And in my opinion, I think he will get over that hump, and I think he's going to be a heck of an offensive player. He's the kind of guy who can protect Butler if, in fact, he gets it going.
Well, if he can show anything like he showed in the minor leagues, he's got a chance. And now, apparently, Andre didn't like the baseball. Not exactly sure why that requires a conference. But Gary Darling came out and gave him one apparently to his liking.
There's a bullet back through the middle. So you can cancel the post-game show. That's the first hit for them.
Menard's pitch tracks will show you this ball was out away from Moustakas. He went out and got it and drilled it straight back by Rienzo.
Well, that's one reason I think that Moustakas is going to make it and make it big before it's done, is because he can hit with short arms or he can hit with extended arms. Probably only about 10 to 15% of the guys in this league can do that. Most guys want to just get extended, and that's probably the worst word in trying to help young hitters. Get extension. All it does is slow up your bat.
Well, Moustakas would probably like to walk a little more than he has, which is just 31. And only 82 strikeouts. That's not bad.
Maxwell with 7 homers, 25 knocked in. That's high.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
David Lowe. David at 282, 4 homers, 31 knocked in.
He's hit the ball well against us, at least.
Yeah, David, from what we've seen, is not afraid to get a big base hit. The ball's hit hard. Meanwhile, just a strike.
That's what he's done against our Sox this year. Pretty impressive, very close to what he's done against the rest of the league.
Oh, 0-2 the count. And that got it. So 2 out, 2 on.
For Rienzo, that's the second man he's hit. And you really hate to do it 0-2.
Well, he really didn't hit him. Lowe hit himself right there. Turned right into it. So here's Contreras. Nice little Greek boy. Hitting at 177, 5 homers, 12 knocked in. Outfield for the most part straight up, not equidistant. Yes, he did. And the count 0-2.
Well, this time instead of the setup pitch, like he tried to throw to Lowe to set him up for the curveball, might as well just go ahead and don't try to set him up. Just throw the curveball. And if it's as good as the last one, he's going to get him.
That one at 93 upstairs. Right through the wickets there. So it'll be a wild pitch.
It's his 4th this year. That ball hits well out in front of Anderson, and then it flattens out. Puts 2 runners in scoring position.
That curveball chopped down foul. And that curveball low. So a full count. Chris Getz on deck.
Don Cooper watching patiently to see if Andre can consistently get that curveball over.
He did. He gone. And that'll retire the side. Picks to click tonight. DiMangio, our director Nakua, with Beckham. He's going with Marcus Simeon. And Andy and Annetta Place. And I are going with Brian Anderson.
Well, am I happy we decided to make this pick to click thing for the last 3 games worth 20 each. Otherwise, I wouldn't have much of a chance.
Well, we can do that.
I still won't win, but it gives me that feeling that there's always hope.
Andy Place down at South Bend and Granger, the builder of very fine homes. So here's Paulie. It'll be Paulie, Dunn, and Garcia. Paulie at 248, 11 homers, 53 knocked in. (12 for 46 lifetime off Guthrie, and of the 12 hits, 9 of them stayed in the park. And on Tuesday, he fouled one right off his right kneecap. That ball hit way back. Gordon looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. And it is 1-0 Sox.
That's a 12th home run, 54th driven in. And that one, an absolute no-doubter. That's a 29th home run that Guthrie has given up this year. A forward home run replay. It's a fastball. It's on the inner portion. And it's gone.
So here is Dunn. Hitting at 216, 32 homers, 83 knocked in. Adam just 4 for 26 against Guthrie, and of the 4 hits, 4 of them stayed in the park.
Guthrie came up with the Cleveland Indians, later went to Baltimore, then on to Colorado. Split last year between Colorado and Kansas City. Was very bad in Colorado, 3-9, 6.35 ERA. But he found it in Kansas City. 5-3 with a 3.16 ERA, and it got him a pretty good long-term contract.
Well, Beltre and Pierzynski have driven in runs for the Rangers in the bottom of the first as they have taken a 2-1 lead over the Halos. Still hitting. And there's ball 4. And White Sox fans celebrating your Latino culture with Hispanic Heritage Night. Fireworks presented by Miller Lite tomorrow at 7:10. Specially priced tickets, including lower-level seats, for only $10. So to purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/NHH. That is Latino culture with Hispanic Heritage Night. Nevasail hitting at .293, 7 homers, 31 knocked in. He just hit a monster in Cleveland.
In that 7-game streak, Nevasail is hitting an even .400. Driven in 8, scored 6. And hit 3 of them out of the park.
I was trying to think last night on the plane about if I've ever seen one that long in that area over that Hyundai sign out there in left center field, the Progressive Field. The Big Hurt hit one out there close to that, but I don't think it was quite as far as the one we saw last night. And don't get me wrong, Big Frank can hit him as far as anybody, but as David Lowe will make the catch.
Wasn't a particularly good night to hit the ball out.
No.
But when you're that strong and you get a pitch middle in, first ball fastball, and you're looking for it, they go a long way.
Especially if it's 97 miles an hour like it was.
Salazar's got a pretty good arm, but even at 97, if you get the whole plate with it, there are guys who can turn it around.
Tank. 265, 14 homers, 56 driven in. Chris Perez gave him a high fastball the other night, and he hit it out of there. Line shot, right field. And that's popped up. Moustakas. So here's Beckham. Gordon 7 for 30 with a couple of home runs. Off Guthrie. And that's out of play.
Gordon also is enjoying his 7-game hit streak, hitting .321.
Takes a strike and the count 0-2. Make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. Game 2 of the Final Four here in 2013. It's a good one. Chris Sale against James Shields. One and two.
Chris Sale's had just a remarkable season, although if you were just looking at the numbers, you'd look at 11 and 13 and say it's a mediocre year. Then you look at an ERA of 2.97 and all of those strikeouts, 221 of them. He did very well.
Two out, two strikes, one in. Down to Moustakas, over to Getz, and that'll do it. But the home run by Paulie is 12th, and it's 1-0 Sox.
Sportsnet. Chris Bowden, Jim Miller, and Dan Jiggets take you right to the field to hear from the players and coaches and deliver the best analysis in town. It's Bears Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. Every game day right after the Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Chris Getz takes strike one, leading off here in the top of the third inning. And Chris Getz takes strike two. Getz hitting at 224. A homer. He's driven in 18. Breaking ball, get over there. Perfect feed. 1 out.
As good as Eric Johnson has been, Rienzo has got to really step it up, because there's a good chance they're going to be in competition with one another. Now, there's nothing that says that they can't both be in a starting rotation next year, but it's going to be a battle, and there's going to be some jobs to be had. So it's the impression you leave the brass with during the end of the season, and certainly how you do in spring training, that's going to determine who lines up where.
Well, that's a good problem to have when you've got that much competition, as you look at 23-year-old right-hander Eric Johnson.
Johnson's looked terrific. Made 4 starts. His ERA is 2.82. He's split him. He's 2-2. But he's thrown a little better than that. One time he was betrayed by his defense. And he's some pretty good stuff.
And it's not like he was pitching against Valdosta State either.
No. threw him right into the fire against some pretty good offenses.
Yeah, first 2 starts against the Yankees and the Tigers in New York. Alex with a 1-2 count, struck out his first trip. Garza having some trouble. But an error was made behind him. Now 3-2 Rangers. Angels hitting top of the second. Pretty good pitch. Didn't get it.
This one might have had a piece of that corner.
Yeah, it did.
And get the benefit of the call from Gary Darling.
Ball's hit hard, but foul.
Throwing Gordon mostly inside when he has to go get him. He's tried a couple pitches outside and missed with them.
So the Walkies 11 for 14 in stolen bases. And our Sox and Athletico Physical Therapy both understand the importance of injury prevention in players and fans' daily activities. So visit Athletico.com/blog for injury prevention tips. Athletico Physical Therapy, the official physical therapy provider of our White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. Another error by the Rangers. Angels lead at 4-3. This one by the last guy you thought would make a throwing error. Beltre, Adrian Beltre, 2-run error.
Their 3 best base stealers are not in the ball game tonight. Bonifacio with 27, Dyson with 33, and Escobar with 21. So on a team that swiped 149 bases, that's a lot of speed on the bench.
Siriaco. 0-2 the count. Boy, last year when we saw Siriaco in Boston, he just wore us out.
Well, he looked like that'd be a guy that's going to hang around Boston for a while, if nothing else, is a 4th or 5th infielder.
He was 5 for 14 against us. But in those 9 outs, there were about 3 or 4 hit very, very hard right at somebody. Siriaco, that famous little town in the Dominican Republic, put out more major league players than any other town in the world. Goes for the force.
I will assume that's San Pedro de Macorís.
Your assumption is correct.
Used to be called the cradle of shortstops. Then they started to develop
everything.
Lots of pitchers have come out of there recently.
Here's Hosmer. He fouled out to Gillespie. Not the easiest of pop-ups down the left field line, far corner. Beckham's got him. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It is still a 1-0 Sox lead. And we want to thank all the great folks out at Mercedes-Benz of Orland Park for their generous donation. And Gene Collingborn of East Dundee, Illinois, was the winner. And with that one event, raised over $35,000 for White Sox charities. So our congratulations to Gene as Brian Anderson fouls it back. Sox lead at 1-0. Brian 1 for 15 since being called up. Takes a strike and the count 0-2. Two balls, two strikes.
Outfield shaded a bit toward left center field. There is a gap in right center.
Made a good pitch. Ate him up inside. So one out. That'll bring up Diaza. Struck out on a breaking ball down and in. Another breaking ball and another foul ball.
It's a pretty good pitch. He had him looking away after a few curveballs, and he threw a fastball and put it right on the inside corner, says our Menard's Pitch Tracks.
Ouch. That hit him. That's where he gets hit most of the time, with that breaking ball down and in.
This is the place where most pitchers go to get it. He caught that right off the left toe.
Alejandro 20 for 24 in stolen bases. Simeon fouls that one back.
Well, that time he got the first ball fastball, and unlike the first time, put a good swing on it. This one was right down the middle, and he fouls it straight back.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Well, he's had 2 good pitches to hit. He couldn't do anything with them. That's all you can ask for as a hitter. You're going to get one good one as a rule if you're patient enough. That one's up and out of the zone. So 2 out. Very, 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 very seldom is a guy going to make 3 unhittable pitches on you in an at bat.
Well, and Guthrie went to the right place. He went way up and out of the zone, got an anxious young hitter to expand that zone, and he goes down on strikes.
Yeah. That's a Steve Stone fastball right there with 2 strikes on any hitter, but especially a young one.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you, but not make it good enough to hit.
Yeah.
If you want to get yourself out, you can be my guest. I'm going to come back eventually with a curveball anyway. But there are very few guys with good enough stuff to consistently get you out in the strike zone. If you make pitchers get you out in the strike zone, you're going to probably have some good numbers against them.
Well, that's why you get certain Yankees for years had those quote, quote, professional hitters that would work you. And it was for 2 reasons. First of all, to get that pitch count up. And you're not swinging your pitcher's pitches. And if you see enough pitches in the bat, you're probably going to get one pretty good to hit, or maybe 2 if you see enough. And the third reason I should say is the fact that most clubs, you want to get to the front end of that bullpen.
If you can, that's the weak spot.
That's the weak spot on almost every club in the big leagues.
Well, the first man out of the pen, almost without exception, is one of the failed starters. He's going to be the long man. And that's one of the reasons why you want to get there instead of allowing the manager to set it up. If the manager can set it up, and sometimes it starts in the 7th inning with your specialist there, then you have an 8th inning guy, a setup man, and then your closer. So the key is 18 outs. Starting pitcher can get you 18 outs. Then most managers in the league, especially this Kansas City team, they can get you the last 9. They've got some guys out there that will throw that ball by anybody. Sometimes on the way to the first 18, you just don't make it.
Yeah, when Seattle won those 116 ball games, they were playing virtually 6-inning games every night. They had 3 pretty good left-handers out in that bullpen. And that's chop foul. So the count remains full with 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. got in on him. David Lowe makes the catch. And we'll go to the fourth, leading by 1.
Burritos, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Mas.
Billy Butler. Top of the fourth inning. Billy grounded out to Gillespie his first trip. And now Marcus, a little backhand right over the top. College students, now that you're back in school, head out to the ballpark tomorrow to relax with your friends and see the last Friday fireworks show of the season presented by Miller Lite. Plus, watch that pretty good pitching matchup with Chris Sale and James Shields. And that's sponsored by Miller Lite. Enjoy bleacher tickets for as low as $10. Come early and stick around after the game for a 20% discount at the Chicago Sports Depot and Bacardi at the Park with a valid college ID. So whitesox.com/college. Yeah, you get to see Chris for the last time in 2013 against a terrific opponent. Nice fireworks.
It'll be 2 fireworks shows in a row. Tomorrow night and Saturday night.
There's a strike to Moustakas. He shot a single right back through the middle. That's the only hit that Rienzo has given up.
A couple of young ladies wise enough to bring their gloves, but not facing the field's not a great idea.
And there's a second hit by Moustakas.
He's the only Royal to have any hits. Threw that fastball out away. It's actually a pretty good pitch. Moustakas just reached out, pulled it, and dropped it in front of Diaz.
So here's Maxwell. Justin popped up to his counterpart, Diaz. Takes a strike. That's top foul. Well, we only have one hit. Of course, that one left the ballpark if you're just checking in. 12th homer by Konerko.
Maxwell originally got to the big leagues with Washington in 2007. Spent a few years there before moving to Houston in 2012, and Royals got him from Houston this year to help fortify their push to the playoff, which fell a little short.
He's had a few big hits for the Royals since joining them. Had a walk-off grand slam homer.
Yep.
And he's hitting .291 with this club. Rocket. Beautiful catch by Semien. That ball was absolutely tattooed.
Marcus is a lifetime shortstop, and even though the ball is hit like a bullet, you got a little more time to react at short than you do at third. He was able to make the play, and it rolled to the top of the glove. But he stayed right with it.
That'll bring up David Lowe, the right fielder. Flips him a curveball up there and misses high. He hit himself with a pitch. His first at bat, turned right into it. That was a good pitch, didn't get it.
That was a very good pitch. Even though Anderson caught it on the ground.
It went across the plate.
Yeah, looked like it came over a strike, but didn't get the benefit of the call.
And it's a 2-1 Kansas City lead. A lot of difference in 1-1 and 2-0. A whole bunch of difference.
Do you believe it's a coincidence that Rex Hudler, the noted broadcaster from these Royals, stepped into the booth just when this one left the park, the Ford home run replay?
Anything that Rex Hudler does not surprise me. He was an exciting player, a money player, fun to watch, and fun to listen to. Today. These guys throw harder today. The question was, Rex wanted to know who threw harder in what time zone. In my time zone, or Steve's time zone, or this time zone today. As there's a chopper. But the 2-run homer by David Lowe, and you can empty a room in a hurry. You know.
Yeah, Rex never sounded any better. Never sounded any better.
Let me invite myself in, Hawk. Way to go, buddy. 2-1.
To Bears game day coverage from a Chicago perspective. With Chris Bowden and former Bears Dan Jiggets, along with Jim Miller, you can start your Sunday with Bears pregame live this Sunday at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, Rex Hudler, who just came over to visit, he and his broadcast partner, Ryan Lefevre, were having a discussion on what time zones threw harder. There's Ryan, son of Jim Lefevre, former manager, coach. As here's Paulie.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it came off the bat of Paul Konerko. He got a fastball to his liking and hit the 29th home run of the year off of Jeremy Guthrie.
But the question was, Ryan thinks that in my time zone that guys threw harder, and that's not the case. And I can give you some illustrations. In my time zone, I started in the big leagues in the early 60s in 63, and I retired in 71. You were facing guys, starters who were going bad coming out of the bullpen. That was mainly the makeup of your bullpen. You may have had one, maybe two guys out there who were relief specialists, but the rest of them were starters. And then it was shortly thereafter they started coming in with more and more specialists, you know. But this Kansas City bullpen right now, I never faced a bullpen in my career that threw that hard. Never. Not even close.
There's no doubt that their bullpen throws hard. We've got a bullpen that throws hard.
A lot of bullpens throw hard.
Yeah, they do. I mean, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for strikeout guys because there's situations where you need a strikeout. So, speaking of strikeouts, Paul gets rung up. Jerry Meals said he did. Paul didn't think he did.
So here's Adam. No, but I never faced bullpens. Kansas City's got three guys down there that can. Well, Holland throws. He can throw. He can hit triple digits. And you got Herrera down there who can hit triple digits. You got two other guys down there that can hit high 90s.
Hochaver can throw in the high 90s.
High 90s, yeah. So you got two other guys down there can do it. And now you take the monster, Dick Raditz, who in my career, in my time zone, was the hardest throwing guy coming out of the bullpen. He was 6'8", 320 pounds. And he could hit triple digits. But that was one guy in the league.
The Yankees had Ryan Duran.
I faced Ryan.
Yeah. Yankees had Ryan Duran, and the Red Sox
Ryan
had
threw
Dick
hard,
Raditz.
but he wasn't triple digits. And Goose could get it up there in a hurry. But that's later on.
Yep.
Look at this. Get by. Get by. Right off the end of the bat. He'll take it. So we have a homer, and we have this.
He didn't get much of the bat at all on it, but nobody's home on the left side. By the time Guthrie gets there, it's not near in time.
But by the time you came into the big leagues a decade later, Stevie, yeah, that's when they started coming in with the specialists in the bullpen.
And National League had, I came in 71 to the big leagues. National League had some guys, but the bullpen wasn't loaded with the guys that are there today.
No. Plus, we've talked about it several times. The tallest guy that I ever faced coming out of the bullpen was Dave DeBusschere with the White Sox. And he today would not be considered a tall guy at all coming out of the bullpen. That's high in right field off the bat of Garcia. So 2 down, and that'll bring it Viciedo. Popped up to Moustakas. Well, the biggest change in the last, and all Sox fans have heard me say this now for the last 10 years. The biggest change in the game of baseball in the last 50 years is bullpen, without question. It has become a battle of bullpens today, and we have seen that graphically with our club this year with Quintana, Chris Sale. I don't care how good your starters are. Kansas City's got some pretty good pitching over, some pretty good starters. You know how many complete games they've got? That's down into the corner. That a boy Tank. So Adams going to be held at third on the double by Viciedo.
Well, I will say it's rare today for any team to get close to double digits in complete games for an entire staff. And Viciedo gets a slider. He likes sliders, especially when they're up. And he hammers it into the right field corner.
Well, Kansas City has 5 complete games with their good starters. With our good starters, we've got 5 complete games this year. Guthrie's got 3 of them. Chris Sale's got 4 of them for us.
That's usually what happens.
That ball here well into right field. Get over his head. But he's back there. I tell you, that guy is a good little player, that David Lowe. Meanwhile, that saves a couple, and we trail it 2-1.
The Rays leading the Yankees 2-0. The Indians, for the moment, leading the Twins 3-0. And the Angels, because of 4 errors by the Rangers, leading 4-3.
One 1-0 pitch. Jets grounded out 3-1 his first trip. 2-3-0 for them, 1-3-0 for us. Here in the top of the 5th inning in the first of the final 4 for 2013.
This is what the wild card looks like, with the Indians clinging to that 1-game lead over the Rangers, and the Rays in pretty good shape. That Tampa Bay pitching has just been shut down pitching.
Marcus gets a nice little bounce right there. Helps him out. Makes a nice play. 1 out.
Simeon was shading, gets up the middle. And he shows some good range. Nice, easy, and very accurate throw.
I just like to watch him play. I watched him every day in spring training. I had to go over there on the backfields and watch him.
He had a nice presence on the field, regardless of what position Robin has put him in.
Terrific. But you mentioned it earlier that on that line drive that he still has to get a little used to the speed of the game at third.
Oh, there's no doubt. Most guys do. Most guys.
Yeah, everybody
that
does.
Play the middle. I remember Gordon when Gordon went over there.
Gordon, I'll never forget that line drive between his legs in Minnesota.
That went between his legs without him ever getting a glove on it.
Yeah.
And didn't hit the ground.
Right.
Yeah. That can do it to you.
Yeah, that's when he realized how fast that the big leagues are at third base compared to short or second. That happened to me in spring training because I was not primarily an outfielder, and one of our first basemen went down and they wanted me to play first base. And we were playing the Braves as there's a little soft ball off the bat of Gordon. We were playing the Milwaukee Braves. They had an outfielder named Wes Covington.
I remember Wes Covington.
It was my first game at first base. He hit a ball that went in the hole between me and Dick Green, who was playing the second base. I never saw it. I never saw the ball.
That had to be a bad feeling.
I never saw it, Stoney.
Yeah, you could take it when you move in, especially after not being there.
Yeah.
Ball feels like it explodes off the bat.
I never saw it. It's the only Sam McDowell threw the only pitch in the big leagues or in baseball in my career I never saw, and Wes Covington hit the only ball that I never saw.
I only had one pitcher throw on I never saw, and it was Bob Gibson. It was behind my head, and it's a good thing that I didn't see it because I'd have backed up right into it, and he must have thought I was the bravest guy in the world because I never moved an inch, and it exploded in the glove of a catcher by the name of Jerry McNertney.
Yeah.
Because I had hit Joe Torre, and I said to him, "Is this over?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it's over." And then he went around striking me out, which he was going to do in the first place.
Yeah.
But Joe stood right on top of the plate, and he got hit with pitches that nobody else got hit with.
That's another little soft broken bat by Sirianko. Meanwhile, we're halfway home. We trail at 2-1. Will lead it off, then back to the top of the order with Diaza and Simeon. There's a 3-hopper. Nice pick by Getz. 1 pitch, 1 out. So here's Alejandro. He was hit by a pitch his last at bat. His first at bat leading off the bottom of the first. He struck out. If you're just checking in, solo homer by Paul Konerko leading off the second. Then in the fourth, a 2-run homer by David Lowe. And that's off the on the bat. Two out.
Well, 2 pitches, 2 outs. And there are some young guys that would swing at the first pitch here. I think it's not a particularly good idea. You don't want to see any pitcher have a 3-pitch inning.
Not unless your game's name is Miguel Cabrera.
Well, if he wants to and he can hit it out, that's good.
Yeah, that's just common courtesy to your starter. Breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Guns over, and they get him. Marcus with good speed down the line. Meanwhile, we're into the 6th. Sox talk, and we'll re-one back later in the game, and it just might be yours. Hosmer, Butler, Moustakas. Hosmer's fouled out to third and grounded to second. Near left side.
That was a good curveball. Hosmer swung right over the top of it.
He gone.
Third strikeout. And another one. Another curveball, and Hosmer cannot check his swing.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice if Andre could get to the point that he had enough confidence in that curveball to take a little something off,
Yeah, it's a real big weapon for him. First of all, you throw it early in the count. Guys usually don't swing at it. That was a rarity. There was a breaking ball there to Butler, who kind of jammed himself on it.
Yeah, he did. Quickly 2 out.
Most guys just won't swing at it.
Well, you were really good at changing speeds on that curveball.
I had to. I mean, I would have loved to have had a good straight change. I tried everything. Nothing really worked. I kept tipping it because I'd slow down my motion or change the arm angle. And I'd see hitters, when I threw it, they brought their hands back, even if they put their foot forward. Well, that's a tip-off that they know it's coming. If that's the case, you might as well, you got to go to something else. And so for me, it was easier to put the curveball back in my hand and move it out a little bit, throw 3 different speeds of curveball to compensate for lack of a straight change. And Gary Darling got hit with that one. So Moustakas steps out, gives him some time.
Gut shot.
Yeah, fortunately off that chest protector.
Two and 0 the count. If you're just tuning in, just 3 runs in the game, they have 2 of them. Just 6 hits in the game, they have 3 of them. And it's chop foul, 2-1. High strike called.
This one is the very top of the zone. It's not really where you want to throw the curveball. Even left-handers get a good shot at it up there. That's where you want to throw it.
So Moustakas, who had 2 hard singles and a run scored his first 2, strikes out, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th.
Super slow-mo replay, and it's Jason Durant who's got to get this Oreo cookie in his mouth before the 10 seconds run out. Now, He's able to do it.
Look at that face.
Very happy young man.
Yeah, if you hadn't been up there when you get to the ballpark, go up there and look around, and you can definitely have some fun. We trail it 2-1. Gillespie, Konerko, and Dunn. That's a can of corn. And you can place a deposit today for 2014 White Sox season tickets and receive priority seating options before plans become available to the general public. So choose from a full season plan or 2 great split season plans. WhiteSox.com or 312-674-1000. Here's Paulie. Paulie 1 for 2, his 12th homer.
Donnie Villa loosening in the pen.
Right at the bottom of the zone. Outfield, for the most part, straight up. Same for the infield. Moustakas back, well off the line at third. Hosmer at first, probably has more range than any first baseman in this league.
He's just a good-looking young player, every aspect of the game. This year caught fire the last few months. Came in with that batting average of .303.
Took something off, had him way out in front.
Looks like a pretty good straight change. And Bottom just falls out of this at the end. It's the late movement that fools Paul. 4 Ks, just 1 walk. As usual, very good control for Jeremy Guthrie.
Here's Adam. He drew that walk, and he also nubbed one right off the end of the bat down the third base way and had himself an infield single. One pitch. Coming right at him. That ball high, deep, way back. Lowe just looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A-bomb. Tied at 2.
33rd home run, 84th driven in. He got a curveball that had the inner portion of the plate right around thigh high. Home run number 439. 4th home run replay, and this ball goes a mile. Right in the sweet spot for Adam. Took it 3 or 4 rows from the top of the concourse.
So here's Garcia. Takes ball 1. Avisail 0 for 2. Twice he has gone out to his counterpart. Low in right field. They estimated that one at 442 feet. But they throw him out. We'll go to the 7th in a 2-2 tie.
Former Bears QB will take you through last week's game and let you know what to expect from this week's matchup with the Lions. Watch Sportsnet Central Playbook with Jim Miller tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Seventh inning in this 2-2 tie. It'll be Maxwell, Lowe, and Contreras. Andre Rienzo ready to go. Maxwell has popped up to center and lined hard, very hard to short. Semien made a good catch on him. Another bullet off the bat of Maxwell. So the leadoff man aboard.
And this is going to be the last pitch that Andre Rienzo is going to throw. As Justin Maxwell hits a rocket into left field. And with David Lowe coming up, it's going to be Donnie Veal. So as Rienzo departs, Veal comes in. We'll step out and be back after these messages. first base, nobody out. Field of 2 and 3, the ERA 4.76 on for the 49th time. And he's going to hook up with David Lowe. Andre Rienzo threw the ball pretty well. Gave up just 4 hits. Took it into the 7th before departing. And he leaves a tie game.
Next 3 guys, scheduled guys, are left-handed hitters. So 1 on, nobody out. Gillespie on the grass at third. Outfield swung slightly around to the left. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball.
Got a break there because if Maxwell had his weight going towards second base, he's going to get in without a play.
Long set. Yes, he did. Could not check it up, and the count evens at 1. Out. And on a sad note, a real sad note, one of the greats in this game, Mariano Rivera, is about to make his final appearance at Yankee Stadium. There he goes. That's a good bunt. Beckham's over there. No, now Paulie.
I'm not sure what Paul was doing there.
I don't know either.
Because with the runner going, he's looking at second base. There's no play whatsoever. And I don't know if he was waiting for some communication from Gordon, but Maxwell was going.
That's a run and bunt right there. So they give him a base hit. So now trouble of brewing. First 2 men aboard. And here's Contreras. Strikeout and a ground out to second.
Rusty Kuntz, the first base coach.
Jabs at it.
Well, you can tell why Contreras doesn't have any sacrifices this year. Eddie Rodriguez going through his set of signs at third.
And there's a good bunt. Got to hurry. So Maxwell scores in. It's a 3-2 lead. Ducks on the pond, nobody out.
Well, at the very least, it's going to be sacrifice. They're giving him a base hit, E2. It is a good bunt.
Very good bunt. Should be a hit.
Yet
So they're going to bunt us to death.
If the throw is there, he's going to get him, but it wasn't. And yes, they've gone to a small ball game. And lack of execution, which has plagued the ball club all year, continues to plague it.
Infield in. And here is Chris Getz. It's grounded out to first and grounded out to short. Hit hard right to Gillespie. So 1 out. And here is Gordon. Alex. A strikeout, a walk, and a pop up to short.
Daniel Webb getting loosened up in a hurry. For Siriaco, who's in the on-deck circle.
Now more time with Coop to let Webb get loose. And come out to the final fireworks game of the year on Saturday, presented by Great Clips, and take advantage of our Save of the Week offer. Your ticket package will include $10 off the lower level ticket, an on-field pregame parade pass, and admittance to an exclusive blowout sidewalk sale at Gate 1. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/SoxSave. Derek Jeter, Andy Pettit, both walking to the mound. Mariano Rivera's last appearance at Yankee Stadium. Yankees will finish up at Houston. And I think Mariano's got some tears in his eyes, as do a lot of the Yankees and a lot of the Yankee fans. What a very, very emotional moment for one of the greats, the greatest reliever in the history of the game. Can't get that one. And the count 1-1. Two balls and a strike. And very often you have an opportunity to see one of the greatest in the game retire, or for the last time, and certainly the greatest of what he did. Alex can't get it, so 2-2.
Also retire on the heels of a great year. A lot of guys will take it to where they can't play much anymore. Mariano had a good year for even a guy in the middle of his career. The last man to wear number 42, last active player to wear 42 in the history of the game.
He gone. Dig out. 2 down.
Threw this fastball in under his hands at 94 and threw it by him.
And here comes Robin. Now you got to think that Mariano Rivera, one of the most beloved players in the history of the game by everybody, opponents, and certainly his teammates. So, Field departs. Webb comes on, and we'll be back.
Alex Gordon. That one in the dirt, and he evens the count. Another one down and out, but he swings at that one. And eventually, he swings over the top of a 94-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Our Honda call to the pen is Daniel Webb. Webb comes into this one with a 4.15 ERA, on for the 8th time. He has a couple of men in scoring position. Pedro Siriaco.
Well, I just love the way that Donnie Veal has changed, and he is just attacking guys. High, the peg, yes! So we get out of it with just giving up the one, but we trail it 3-2. for us, it'll be the lower third of the order. Viciedo, Beckham, and Anderson will face. Just a battling right-hander out there for Kansas City, Jeremy Guthrie. Boy, he will battle your behind off.
Pretty good pitch on the first pitch, and Viciedo got a break.
He did not go. Two and 0 the count. Light him up. Chopper to Hopper. Tank now 1 for 3. That double back in the fourth. And you can get real-time info, including pitcher gas gauge, stats, tweets with Sox in-game live, only at csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Comcast Business Class. Here's Beckham. 0 for 2. Hit a ball deep into right field as last time up in the fourth inning with 2 men on, second and third. David Lowe had a long way to go back right in front of the fence and made a catch and saved a couple of runs. But next year, that same ball is going to be out of the ballpark once he gets the strength back in that right hand where it's at 100%. Moustakas makes his own hop. 2 down. Brian Anderson is popped to short and grounded to second.
Guthrie has thrown what looked like a strike to all 3 hitters. Didn't get a one of them.
1-1 to count.
He just continues to stand out there and pound away at the strike zone. However, touched up for a couple of home runs tonight, which is something that's happened to him most of the year.
Yeah, well, he's not afraid of the bat. Any pitchers you know, Stevie, not afraid of the bat. They're going to throw some home runs. Newly inducted Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven threw 51 years. Burt was not afraid of the bat.
Now, as long as they're solo shots, for the most part, they don't hurt you all that much. Start walking a few people in front of them, then they start to really hurt.
2 out in the 2-2 pitch. That ball hit high and deep in the center field, but they got a man on the track there. So we'll go to the 8th. It is a 3-2 Kansas City lead. as was Cal Ripken, as was all the great players. I'll never forget my most emotional moment on the field. I just cried. It's just that simple. I was playing against Mickey Mantle the last game. We knew the last game he was ever going to play. Fenway Park in 1968. Last game of the season. I think probably 90 to 95% of our players were all crying.
Well, at that point, Mickey didn't have any legs left.
No, he didn't, Steve. Mickey was probably at that time the most loved player in the league. I don't know about the National League, obviously, but in the American League, we loved Mickey. Mickey was a great guy. That's Hosmer's gone.
Good positioning by Simeon. He's playing him up the middle, and that's exactly where he hit it.
Boy, there'll never be another Cal Ripken, though, in that respect. Seems like every ball.
Not with that record.
I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about positioning?
Yeah, positioning.
Well, he also, I mean, Cal Ripken was able to enjoy a pitching staff that could
That's the reason he could do
go
it.
over the game plan and say, okay, I'm going to throw it here. When I do that, this is where the guy hits it. Cal would position himself because he didn't have the greatest range. He was a third baseman playing shortstop.
But every ball was
very
hit there was
man.
hit right at it.
Yeah.
Billy Butler, be careful. He's 0 for 3. 3 ground outs.
Luke Hochhaver loosening in the pen. Talked about him before.
Hard to hold that man down. Butler comes up with the single to right. And it'll bring up Moustakas. Mike is 2 for 3. 2 solid singles and run scored.
Maybe in the 9th inning you bring in Dyson. Apparently Ned Yost doesn't feel the need for a stolen base. As Butler is still in there and Dyson is still on the bench.
First pitch strike to Moustakas.
Cedis Escobar, another one of the speedsters.
High pop up left side. Simeon. Two out. And here's Justin Maxwell. He led off last inning with a rocket in the hole for a base hit. And after 2 bunt singles, came around to score on an error. First pitch strike. That one at 98.
There's never been anything wrong with the arm of Daniel Webb. He can rush it up there.
That one at 97. That one in 96. He gone. Breaking ball. He knew it. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 Royals.
Justin Maxwell shifts over to right field from center. Jared Dyson comes in center field. And Luke Hochaver, after an 8-16 year as a starter last year, has moved to the bullpen where he's 5-2. This is 57th game. His ERA 1.98, 79 strikeouts and 68 in the third. Former first pick in the country for these Royals.
First pitch strike. Bottom of the zone at 96. That's pretty good fastball. You can get 96 right at the bottom of the zone. Most of the time that'll work. Very quickly to 0-2. Alejandro has struck out, hit by a pitch, and grounded to second. That ball smoked that a boy. 0-2 and gave him a good low fastball to hit.
There's a tying run aboard. Too good a pitch on 0-2, especially when he looked as bad as he looked on that slider down and in on 0-1. Matt Lindstrom warming up in the pen.
Here's Marcus. He's 0 for 3. Stocker's looking for the bunt. Instead, they're going to get the attempted stolen base. And they get it.
Pretty good throw by Gutierrez. And Diaz thought he was in, but that throw was right on the button. This is a straight steal. He never looked back, and he's out.
A good quick tag and a good call by Paul M. 21 to count. That breaking ball at 90. Wouldn't chase that one. Chase that one. 2 down. And a reminder, when you make your net purchases of $20 or more and show us your receipts, we'll deposit $20 back into your U.S. bank checking or savings account. That's their special thank you for becoming a new credit card customer. Gillespie is grounded to third. Fly to right and fly to left. 3-7-0 for them, 2-5-1 for us. That one at 95, high and wide. Connor has faced Hochevar one time, has 1 hit, and that was a home run. Put a good pass on that one, too.
Coleman and Collins. Collins, the diminutive left-hander. Coleman, the tall right-hander.
Second best ERA in the major leagues for a bullpen. Kansas City. Osmond. He's the best in the league at that as well. He and Teixeira taking it themselves. Meanwhile, we're into the ninth. Medicine Comer Children's Hospital, because we are teaming up to promote a healthy lifestyle and combat childhood obesity. Members will receive free White Sox tickets and cool exclusive kids club items. So visit whitesox.com to join the club today.
Matt Lindstrom comes into the game on for the 75th time. 2-4 ERA, 2.88. He's been among the league leaders in appearances most of this year.
All right, Dyson. First ball, honey. This is definitely one guy you want to keep off the base paths. In fact, if you're talking about speedsters in this league, Dyson scares me more than any other guy in the American League.
It could very well be that he would be as close to an automatic steal as you can get if you insert him in the game in a pinch running spot late. But he was put in for defensive purposes, and 1 pitch, 1 out.
Gutierrez, 1 for 3. Had a beautiful bunt single. Fouls that back.
He's had a good night. A good bunt that set up the go-ahead run, and an excellent throw that cut down the would-be tying run.
He plays well against us.
Yep, does that.
Two balls, 2 strikes for our guys in the ninth. We got the right guys coming up. We got Konerko, who's homered tonight. We got Dunn, who's homered tonight. Then we got Evasaio coming up, who's due. He's 0 for 3. He gone. Boy, I tell you, when he stays on top of that, that thing is nasty.
And that has gotten a whole lot better as this year has moved along. That slider's unhittable. It's late breaking. You give up on it because you identify it as being outside, snaps over the plate. You just take a walk back to the bench.
Yeah, when he stays on top, devastating. When he gets around it, very, very hittable. Chris Getz, 0 for 3. Nasty pitch right there, right on the outside edge of the outside corner.
You're not going to be able to get to it, so you might as well hope the umpire gives you the benefit of the doubt, and he didn't.
Watch out, knocks it down. I think he just got the glove. And that'll retire the side. He seems to be all right. It looked like it was just the glove. Meanwhile, we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 3-2 Kansas City.
And it's a couple of bunts that have turned the tide to this point. Our Miller moments. Bunt by Chris Getz, and Paul goes to the wrong base, at least looks at it. And this time, Brian Anderson throws it away. Sox very fortunate to get out of that inning with just the one run, but they give up the tie. And Greg Holland comes in on for the 67th time. He's 2-1 with a minuscule 1.25 ERA, 45 for 48 in save situations. Salvador Perez comes in the game behind the plate.
Looking for it, got it, and just underneath it at 97. Paulie has faced Holland 12 times, has 4 hits. That one at 97.
This one off the outside corner. Paul's not going to catch up to that up there, and probably was very unhappy with the call because it puts him in a big hole.
When you got a guy that throws that hard and has a good splitter, and you're 0-2, you got a big strike zone.
Now maybe in protection mode he can guide one into right field.
You got to go into previous defense with 0-2 again on him. Paulie got us on the board in the second inning with his 12th homer. Then David Lowe hit a 2-run homer in the 4th. Adam Dunn hit a bomb. I mean, just about 3 rows from the concourse. Tied it up, and then they went ahead in the 7th.
That was a dandy.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can do about that once you get into a 2-strike situation. This is as sharp a breaking ball as you'll see, and it's right in the middle of the zone.
So here's Adam, a walk, an infield single, and that monster home run.
He got a curveball, and Guthrie gave up a couple of home runs, this being the second of the 2, and way back there.
As I mentioned, Jeremy Guthrie is not afraid of the bat. You get a pitcher who's not afraid of the bat, he's going to throw some home runs, and you're going to get a pitcher who's going to throw some long home runs too.
Went 7 tonight, gave up the 2 home runs on the 2 homers, but only 4 hits overall with just 1 walk.
Well, he's trying to pick up his 15th win of the season. He was a tremendous pickup for Kansas City.
Especially after all the problems he had in Colorado, but he's not the Lone Ranger. There's a lot of pitchers that have problems in Colorado and are just ecstatic to get out of there.
Man, that Colorado park's like Boot Hill for pitchers.
That and the fact that going to Kansas City probably felt like he went to Yellowstone Park.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon.
It's tough to hit him out of there.
Leonis Martin has just knocked in a couple. Texas has taken the lead 5-4 over the Angels. He's been swinging a good bat for the Rangers lately. And a full count right here. Two down.
99 miles an hour.
So it's up to Avisail. Twice it's gone out to right, and once it's grounded to third. Avisail 0 for 2 against Holland. Come on, Avi. Yeah, that splitter. That's why Brian Harvey was such a devastating reliever there. Through 92, 93 mile an hour splitter. The Angels. To this day, I still swear it was a spitter. Because they get the same spin.
Holland has 3 unhittable pitches. That curveball, along with a 99 mile an hour fastball and a splitter to go with it.
Yeah. That's why they're good out there. 1-2 the count. Just did get a piece of it. Good job.
Bobby with a smile on his face because this is usually a wipeout pitch. And he just barely was able to get the top of it and foul it off.
Well, he had a good break-in period with a couple of guys who love to play the game and had fun at it, and Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder. And there's a base hit, that a boy. And it'll bring up Tank. Now, Tank. Right man, right place, right time, right now.
He got a fastball, and even at 98, takes it through that big hole on the right side to keep the inning and the game alive.
Tank is due against Holland. He's 0 for 8 against him. Takes first pitch strike. And when this ball comes down, this ball game will be over. So, Sox get a good performance, Stoney, from Rienzo in the bullpen.
Well, Rienzo did very well. Did not deserve to pick up the loss in this one, but lose it he did. And once again, defensive miscues, 2 of them did in the ball club, and so the first of a 4-game series goes to Kansas City.
And our GMC player of the game is the veteran right-hander Jeremy Guthrie, picking up his 15th victory of the season, our GMC player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angie, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor Mean Joe Krug and Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Dennis Wood, Frank Leone. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, the Orland Park Nissan postgame show with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet.